What is going on, you guys? It's Extreme here, and welcome back to another episode of Road to Max Prestige, a series I do Monday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you're new around here and don't know what this series is about, I talk about all kinds of crap in this series. I tend to share a lot of my personal stories, like this one time I fucked a chick in a van outside of a police station. Seriously, I have stories like that, and I share them with my audience. So if you enjoy crazy random shit like that, hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. You can also hit that like button. You can share this video, you can favorite it, all that stuff. It helps me out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. In today's episode, I had asked you guys last Thursday, that's 2 episodes ago by the way, for questions, and one of you guys, one of my longtime subscribers, he took it upon himself to ask me a plethora of questions. So I'm gonna go ahead today, as promised, and I'm gonna answer each and every one of these. So let's get started. The very first question is, when did you start wrestling and why did you stop? Now, for those of you that don't know, I used to be a professional wrestler. It's a long story. I think I've gone over it at least once before, so I'm not going to do that here. But when did I actually start wrestling professionally? See, I gotta ask, which way do you want to go with this? Like, when did I start wrestling? Because if you go back that far, I was 15 when you include my backyard group. If you're talking about when did I start doing it legitimately and professionally, that was when I turned 19. In fact, truth is, I actually turned pro officially about a month before my 19th birthday. So that's when I started. I guess I have no else to tell you. Didn't last long, unfortunately, as just a few short years later, I was forced to retire, technically. I never officially stated I was retiring or anything. I was never anyone famous. I never wrestled in front of any major crowds. There is no Wikipedia page about me. None of that shit. In fact, you could look me up and you won't find me. Why? I wrestled for a pirate promoter, and pirate wrestling is not considered real professional wrestling. Was trained, sort of, but yeah. Anywho, why did I stop? I hurt my back. I worked at Toys R Us in the stock room, and during the Christmas rush, our stock room went from being, fairly maneuverable to can of sardines. And me being a big guy trying to move around in a very tight space, not a good idea. I did something, next thing I know, pop, crack, and pain. Yeah. So that happened. And I was basically told by doctors, you can't keep wrestling and you need to stop working. Well, I couldn't quit working, I needed the money. But wrestling, they basically said if I took one wrong bump, it could do more damage than it should, than it normally would, if you will. And I could very well be facing paralysis. So I stopped wrestling about 3 years after I started, if that sums it up for you guys. So yeah, fun times. All right, moving on. So what are your thoughts on Call of Duty as a franchise, and do you think it's going to be around for years to come? Call of Duty as a franchise, it depends on what spectrum you're talking about. If you're talking about the campaigns, I've enjoyed every campaign I've ever played except for Ghosts. I think Ghost campaign was very lackluster and definitely rushed and thrown together. There are so many holes in that story, it's not even funny. For the multiplayer, there are a lot of aspects of the multiplayer and the technical aspects behind the multiplayer that have bothered me for some time now. But I don't make the game, I just play it. And for that reason, I stand by this statement. As long as they are listening to what we as the gamers, the people playing their game, are saying, and take our requests into consideration, I'm happy. Have they done that? Yeah. We've been demanding a new Call of Duty, something different. We got it, and a lot of people don't like it. I will admit I'm one of those people that doesn't like the movement in this game. This is all a conversation for another time, but ultimately, I think Call of Duty as a franchise is a fun game when you play it for pure recreation. When you start trying to play it for, you know, other reasons, you're not going to have fun. That said, do I think this franchise is going to be around for a long time? Honestly, I give this series maybe 5-6 more years before it goes the way of Guitar Hero, which also happens to have been a product of Activision. I think they're starting to beat this horse too hard with the microtransactions being thrown in there now and everything else that we've been kind of force-fed for the last 2 years. I think gamers of this series are starting to get to a point of, all right, this is getting ridiculous. We pay $60 for the game, and then we've got to pay literally out the asshole for everything else. You know, and we all know that they've been intentionally leaving shit out, multiplayer maps, guns, camos, so that they can sell them later. And anyone who says, oh no, they're developing these now, I am one of those people. In certain situations, I would agree with that, but we all know that they were going to put the zombie mode in this game, and they held it off for the first DLC. I made my comments about this before, I'm not going to do it here, but yeah, maybe 5-6 more years before it's gone. Moving on. What was your first video game console and the game you ever played? Well, my very first video game console that I played, or that was bought for me, whatever, was the Nintendo Entertainment System. For those of you that don't know what that is, Google it. And the first game I ever played was Super Mario Brothers. That's it. Not 15, not World, none of that crap. It was just Super Mario Brothers. 2D side scroll. I'm pretty sure most of you know what that is. I played that game so goddamn much, man. However, I never beat it. I'd always get to the very last level and die. And this was before continues and saves and all that other crap came into effect. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was pissed. Just saying. The first console I ever bought myself was the Xbox 360, and the first game I bought for myself was actually WWF No Mercy for the N64. Just throwing those out there. Alright. So, what is the meaning of life or on life? You put what is the meaning on life. I'm going to assume you mean what's the meaning of life. And moving on. What is your favorite video game franchise of all time? Kingdom Hearts. However, I'm going to say right now, I've only ever played the first one and the second game. I never played any of the DS games or any of the other games that came out. But I enjoyed that series so much. I've been patiently waiting for the third one. It was announced to be coming out this year. I hope that happens. If it doesn't, I'm not going to cry because I know it's coming. The wait is almost over. Finally. Moving on. What series do you enjoy making the most on your channel? You know, I'm actually going to hold off on answering this one for now because I think I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. I kind of want to save this one for tomorrow, so I hope you don't mind. I'm going to save that one. I kind of want to evaluate every video series I've done on my channel, and I just don't have enough time to do that here. So the next question you asked was, what's your favorite TV series? The answer to this is simple. Any television series that starts with the initials NCIS. I love those series. I love all of them. I got hooked in the first one. I've enjoyed Los Angeles. I'm enjoying New Orleans. I would love to see like Las Vegas or something like that, but the truth is, you have to think about what NCIS is. Ultimately, it's Naval Criminal Investigative Services. As a dependent of a retired, well, not anymore, but as a former dependent of a naval service member, I never had a run-in with these guys. except for when they were just hanging out at my dad's work. Just saying. I did bump into them as a kid, and I never knew who they were. I always thought it's cool, like cops. My dad's like, kind of. So, but yeah, it's a really good series. If you haven't seen it before, I highly recommend you check it out. It is, the storytelling in that show is amazing. Not all of the shows are good, but I don't think I've ever seen a really bad show before in that series. So definitely one you guys should check out if you guys are looking for something new to watch. What's your favorite movie? And I think this actually was your last question. Yeah, this is your last question. So my favorite movie, well, as a kid, see, I'm going to break this down because I have time to do this. As a kid, my favorite movie was Hook. As a teenager, my favorite movie, oh my God, what was it? For the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. God damn, it sucks. I've had a bunch of different favorite ones though. I mean, there was Hook, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Oh my God, I could literally just look over at my, let's see, hang on, I gotta look over at my DVD tower for a second. Son of a bitch. There's so many good movies, man. I mean, I love watching movies. If I really had to say, without a doubt, my all-time favorite movie, fuck it, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, man. I've been a huge fan of Kevin Smith's work, but that was my favorite. It was the first Kevin Smith movie I ever saw, and I enjoy his movies, man. He does really funny shit. He's had a few instances that I wasn't a huge fan of, but ultimately, I'm not a huge fan of certain categories of movie, and so I didn't see them for personal preference. But I think anything he's touched has been good, has been enjoyable. And if you look at it from the pure entertainment value, oh yeah, absolutely. His movies are beyond entertaining. So, yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, man. So many fond memories of that film. Now, I'm going to throw this in there, because you didn't ask this question. If this goes to the wrestling side of things real fast, like, because I don't really talk about my wrestling enjoyment very often, but my favorite documentary for wrestling. Now, of course, if you're a wrestling fan, you know almost all documentaries made in wrestling are almost always by the WWE. And they did this one too, but they did such a good job on it. Oh my God, I could watch it for hours and hours and hours on end, and I'm talking about the rise and fall of ECW. Oh my God, I watched that thing so much. If DVDs wore out like tapes did back in the day, my DVD would be freaking, there would be a hole where the laser would be shining through on it, because I watched it that fucking much. Oh my God, I love that series. It was such a good, it was so well done, and it told the story so elegantly, and just, I'm using big words because I can, shut up. But I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, Jay and Silent Bob, and I guess it's not really a film, but again, it's my channel, I'm going to answer the question how I want. Rise and Fall of ECW is my absolute number 2. So yeah, there you go, you guys. That's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow I will be touching on that one question of what my favorite series to make, or most enjoyable series to make, because I really want to take some time on that one. But after that, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Thursday, I'm going to be talking WrestleMania. So if you're a wrestling fan, stay tuned. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinion on the card so far. But, oh, yeah, well, I'm in the kill cam, sort of. Until next time, you guys, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys again soon. Till next time, adios. Oh, right, I totally forgot about this. So, okay, honestly, didn't forget about this. This week, if you're on the PlayStation Network, if you're on PS4, PS3, we are finally getting the Havoc DLC as someone decides to honk outside. Personally, I don't care about any of the fucking multiplayer maps. The gun I'm excited for, zombies I'm excited for. I will be doing zombie content next week, and it'll all vary. I mean, I'm gonna do multiple different runs with I'm gonna do one solo, I'm gonna do one with my brother, I'm gonna do one with members of my Destiny clan, and I'm just gonna have fun with it, man. And if any of you guys are interested, this Saturday